Okay, back with another episode of Forgotten Souls of America. How you doing today, Unc?
Well, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. Feeling good.
Okay, cool, man. Where you are you from Wilson, North Carolina?
No, I'm originally from Baltimore, Maryland. You know what I mean? But I've been coming to Wilson all my life. You know,
Okay,
granddad, grandmother, mother, and father, all them from Wilson.
okay,
You know, plenty family down here. Plenty family.
okay, cool. And you say you not homeless or none of that. You say you
No,
had a little
no.
small problem with the
I
what
had
y'all
a
call it
big
back?
problem.
What
Got a big problem with the heroins and the cocaine.
you said
Got
a
a
big
big
problem.
problem. Big problem.
And you also said you've been married for 16 years.
Been married 16 years.
Okay. Now this is where it's gonna get a couple questions.
Yeah.
How do how have that affected your marriage?
It affected my marriage in a whole lot of ways because, like I say, when you married to someone and they have never used drugs,
Mm-hmm.
they never used drugs,
Mm-hmm.
but you had,
Mm-hmm.
you able to mask some things what they don't know about. You know what I mean? Your moods, your ways, and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like
What you mean mask?
when I say mask them,
Oh,
you know what I
you
mean?
mean mask,
Yeah,
like hide them.
yeah. You know what I
Okay,
mean? You
got you.
you able to hide them. You know what I mean? Like I say, when I'm ill, like I say, like I say, most of the time when I come down here from Baltimore,
Mm-hmm.
like I say, I don't know, like I say, North Carolina, like I say, she don't know nothing about when I'm ill. You know what I mean? When I'm laying in the bed and I'm tossing and turning, my legs hurting, I'm sweating. You know what I mean? She like, what's the matter? You just ain't sleeping good. Especially when she have never used drugs.
Right.
It's different when somebody have used drugs. They
So you
notice it.
saying like y'all like be having a problem the way that you sleep in bed
Yeah,
at night sometimes,
yeah,
the
yeah,
way that you move?
yeah.
Because is it because that you want that drug,
Yeah,
or
but I'm ill. You know what I
or
mean?
you on the drug? Which one?
I'm ill. I'm on the drug. You know what I mean? I'm trying to detox myself from the drug. When I come down here, I'm detoxing myself.
Yeah.
So I'm detoxing. So I'm coming down here. You know what I mean? And like I say, at about 3, 4 days, I didn't detox myself. You know what I mean? Then I ain't tossing and turning. Because anybody can tell you. You know what I mean? Like I say, I never had shot no drugs,
Mm,
but I sniffed drugs. You know
mm,
what I mean? I sniff heroin.
right.
You know what I mean? Like I say, and like I say, man, you got to come down or you got to come off of that.
Let me ask you something. How was your upbringing? Did you grow up
Man,
in a two-parent home?
I grew up in a two-parent, great, beautiful environment.
Okay.
Beautiful environment.
And how many siblings?
7.
What was?
Mother and father never used drugs. Father worked hard every day. Every day. When he got off work at 4, he might go back to work again on a side job.
And what's you in that birth order?
Huh?
What's you in the birth order? Which
The last one, the baby boy.
out of the
Out of
seven?
7, I'm the last one.
Okay. Have that any way have the drug problem any way affected you and your family members,
Yeah, you know
your
what I mean?
siblings or something?
Most definitely. You know what I mean? Because, like I say, I wasn't raised, you know what I mean, out there in the streets.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I say, man, I was one of the ones, you know what I mean? I was, blessed. I never had to, you know what I mean? I always knew about the streets. I always hung with homies in the streets. But
Right.
I never had to go out there and sell no drugs. All the puff leather coats, the Wilder Bees, the Clarks, you know what I mean? All I had to do was get good grades, do what I was asked to do around the house, you know what I mean? Play my sports, you know what I mean? And I would come in the house.
Let me ask you, when you when your family found out that you was dealing with the drugs, how did it make them feel?
At first, you know what I mean? My mom, my pops, you know what I mean? They was like, oh, not my son, not my son. You know what I mean? And then when I really got out there doing things that I wasn't supposed to do,
Uh-huh.
what I told you about, you know what I mean? I always knew about the streets. They cut me off.
Uh-huh.
So when they cut me off, I used to just come in the house and be like, Ma, you know what I mean? I want that new coat. I want these new, you know what I mean? I want these new Jordans or whatever. You know what I mean?
Mm.
And, you know, like I say, all I had to do was get good grades, do what I was asked to do around the house. But when they found out that I was messing with the, you know what I mean, the drugs, they cut me off.
Right.
So that's when I took it to the streets because I always knew about the streets, but I didn't have to take it to the streets. So when they knew, you know what I mean, that I was, you know, like I say, my mom and pops, you know what I mean, brand new Lincolns, Cadillacs, and all that. The keys was on right there on the nightstand.
So, do you think that you embarrassed your family too?
I know I did it. I know I did it. I done it. I done it. I done that. Believe that. I done that. You know what I mean? But
Go ahead. Go ahead.
but when I done that, you know what I mean? Like I say, man, when you drugs will make you do things or they'll take you places where you never thought you would go.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that was just like, man, it was a thing where it was like, man, you know, I can't go in the house no more and say, Ma, give me $20, Ma. You know what I mean? Let me get them keys. You know what I mean? When they knew I was on the drugs, they was like, no, you know what I mean? And I was like, okay, all right then. Well, I can't, you know what I mean? I can't. I'm going to the streets with it now. That's when I start robbing. I start taking. Didn't give a fuck about, you know what I mean? I'll be like, man, fuck the streets, you know what I mean? Because the streets ain't got no love. Streets don't have no love for you. Anybody who think, you know what I mean, oh, the streets love me, them niggas out in the streets love me, them niggas don't love you. The streets don't love you.
Right.
You know what I mean? Anything, you know what I mean, like I said.
Let me ask you, because I don't want to get way off the subject question. Do you have any children?
I got 2 kids.
Boy or girl?
I got a son and I got a daughter.
Oh, okay. How old are they?
My son 32 and my daughter 38.
Y'all got a good relationship?
Yeah.
Right.
I'm gonna tell you, they never seen me use drugs, you know what I mean, but they heard, you know what I mean, like I say, you know what I mean, you know, and to this day it hurt me, you know, that they, you know what I mean, like I say, they heard about it, but they never seen me. I never used no drugs around my kids and stuff.
Have you been in their life the whole time?
Yeah.
Or was it on and off?
Only time I wasn't in their life when I was in prison.
Okay. How long you doing in prison, man?
You know what I mean? I give them, like I say, my first time in prison, I give them 9 months. The second time I give them in prison was 18 months. The third time I give them in prison, I give them 5 years on 8.
And you also said that you was in the military.
Yeah.
Graduated
high school, Marine Corps, you understand? And
what brought you to even want to do a drug then if you was doing all this stuff?
Check it out. Idle time and just trying to fit in. You know what I mean? I'm gonna tell you, my brother is the one, you know what I mean, that introduced me to drugs, you know what I mean? Because I always felt like, you know, when I was around my brother, I got a brother that's a year older than me.
Right.
And like I said, I used to always be around him. And then when I started using drugs, he was like, man, you know what I mean? You doing it with your girl, you know what I mean? You know, you all right, this and that. Just trying to fit in because I always felt like I was the oddball. You know, I always had, you know what I mean, a couple of dollars in my pocket. And, you know what I mean, I go around my brother, you know what I mean, you know, throw him a couple of dollars, you know what I mean? I always was able to spend, you know what I mean? And then he was like, well, you doing it with your girl. And then I was supplying him, you know what I mean? Then it was like, okay, I'm fitting in now, you know? Yeah.
So you basically got on trying to be cool.
Simple and plain.
Damn.
Simple and plain.
Just
trying to fit in.
And you said some of the stuff with your children you feel sorry about. If your children run across this video and you want them to know something, what would you tell them?
That, you know what I mean, I would just want them to, you know, my son and my daughter, both of them, they strong individuals, both of them, you know, just don't, you know what I mean, never get in a place where it's feel, you know, where you feel as though where you just got to fit in to please somebody else.
Right.
You know what I mean? Always do you. Just do you. because that's how I was raised though. I had a strong mother. And Lily Cooper, you know what I mean? My mother, Lily Cooper, you know what I mean? And like I say, she always say, if you gonna do something, do it because you wanna do it. Don't do it because, you know what I mean? He wants you to do it, she wants you to do it. Do it because, and you know, like I say, when I started going to prison, you know, and my mother, you know, used to come, it used to hurt me just see her sit on the other side of the wall. And my mother would cry, and she'd be like, my baby, you know what I mean? I put so much into him.
Right.
I put so much into him, and look where he at now. But she never turned her back on me, though.
Right.
Never turned her back
If
on
you, and another thing, down to your family members, because I got two more questions. Is this one and one more. So after this question, one more question for you. If your family run across this video, do you got something you want to tell them too?
I apologize to everyone that I ever, you know what I mean, that ever, you know what I mean, heard it, you know what I mean, ever took something from, you know what I mean, and I just want to say, man, you know, my brothers and my sisters, because I had been there, you know what I mean, which I took from my brother and I took from my sister, you know what I mean, I apologize from the bottom of my heart, man, you know what I mean, and I'm, you know what I mean, I just, you know, like I say, I'm in a different direction. I'm in a different place right now, and I love y'all.
If you had 30 seconds to go back in time and go to an age to give yourself a message, to tell yourself a message today, yourself right now to an age, what you got 30 seconds now. What would that age be, and what would you tell yourself?
At 24, Kevin, just realize and think long and hard about how you was raised, what Lily and Roy taught you, and just apply that and remember all the things, morals, principles, you know what I mean? Have a good name before you have anything else, you know what I mean? Have a good name and just, you know what I mean, like I say, just do you.
Right.
You know, and like I say, my mother, Lily Mae Cooper, my father was Roy Clinton Cooper. You know what I mean? Just have a good name and like I say, take accountability of what you do and think about, you know what I mean? Just think about what you do before you do it.
Right.
You know what I mean? You know, that's all I would say. That's all I would say.
Okay. Hey man, one more thing, man. If you got a message to the youth, you know, to keep them out of what they get into, or just something inspiration, or just something, not even something that's gonna help them. What message will you give them?
Think about, you know what I mean, all the, you know, the chopping up y'all heard me just talk about. Think about that and take that, you know what I mean, and run with that. Think about it, you know what I mean, because one day, like I say, you will be my age, you know, if you keep living. I'm 56 years old now, you know. Just think about the things that you do before you do it. Think long and hard of the things that you do before you do it. Because like I say, you know, it ain't guaranteed, you know what I mean? It's mapped out for all of us, but just think about the things that you do, man, and you know what I mean? Like I say, man, I wish y'all all the blessings in the world, man.
All right. Peace, bro.
Believe it.